All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with the help of mobile technology. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.59% in the country. United Kingdom rolls out first COVID-19 vaccine in the world. Prime Minister to lay foundation stone of state-of-the-art and energy-efficient new Parliament building tomorrow. And government to start 1,000 Khelo India small centres to encourage sports culture in the country. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin the bulletin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed on the need to work together to ensure timely rollout of next-generation 5G technology to leapfrog into the future and empower millions of people in the country. Mr. Modi was delivering the inaugural address at the virtual India Mobile Congress IMC yesterday. Addressing the event, the Prime Minister gave a call to work together to make India a global hub for telecom equipment, design, development and manufacturing.
We have achieved much success in mobile manufacturing in India. India is emerging as one of the most preferred destinations for mobile manufacturing. We have also come up with a production-linked incentive scheme to promote telecom equipment manufacturing in India. Let us work together to make India a global hub for telecom equipment design, development and manufacturing. We are embarking on a plan to ensure that over the next 3 years, every village will have high-speed fiber optic connectivity. We have already linked up the Andaman and Nicobar Island with fiber optic cable.
Mr. Modi cautioned that due to technological upgradation, there is a culture of replacing handsets and gadgets frequently. He called for setting up a task force to think of a better way of handling the electronic waste and create a circular economy. The Prime Minister said that the digital potential of the country is immense. He said with the help of mobile technology, poor and vulnerable sections of the society have been provided help during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The digital potential of our nation is unparalleled, perhaps even in the history of mankind. Friends, it is because of mobile technology that we are able to provide benefits worth billions of dollars to millions of Indians. It is because of our mobile technology that we are able to help the poor and vulnerable quickly during the pandemic. It is because of mobile technology that we are seeing billions of cashless transactions, which boosts formalization and transparency.
The Prime Minister said India will launch the world's biggest COVID-19 vaccine drive with the help of mobile technology. Appreciating the country's growth in the mobile and internet connectivity sector, Mr. Modi said India has billion-plus mobile phone users and 750 million internet users. He said half of total internet users have been added in the last 4 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the full potential of the SAARC grouping can only be realized in an atmosphere free of terror and violence. In his message on the 36th SAARC Charter Day, the PM called upon the nations to recommit themselves to defeat the forces that support and nurture terrorism and to work collectively towards a secure and prosperous South Asia. Prime Minister Modi also underscored India's commitment to work with other countries in the region for post-COVID-19 recovery. SAARC Charter Day is observed annually on the 8th of December. The SAARC Charter Day marks the signing of the SAARC Charter in 1985 by the leaders of SAARC countries, heads of state or government of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka at the first SAARC summit held in Dhaka.
India has crossed a significant milestone in its fight against COVID. The national cumulative recovery rate has also further improved to 94.59%, with the recovery of nearly 91,79,000 people so far. With recovery of over 39,000 people in the last 24 hours, the number of daily recoveries continue to outnumber the new daily cases for the 11th consecutive day today. With 26,567 new daily cases, the number of daily cases has also registered a fall of over 19% from yesterday. The new daily positive cases have remained below the 50,000 mark for over a month now. Over 10,26,000 COVID samples were tested in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 14 crore 88 lakhs. In Delhi, the recovery rate of COVID patients stands at 94.62%. The city recorded recovery of 3,307 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients to 5,65,039. A total of 3,188 new confirmed cases were reported in Delhi in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 5,97,112. The Delhi government confirmed that 57 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 9,763. The total number of active corona cases in the city now stand at 22,310. The government has said massive production of COVID-19 vaccine will start once scientists give the green signal. Briefing the media in New Delhi, Secretary Health Ministry Rajesh Bhushan said, all preparations have been made and an outline has been drawn to ramp up production of the vaccine and to make it available to each and every person in shortest possible time. Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech have applied for emergency use approval. He added that the Prime Minister has interacted with all vaccine manufacturers and scientists. There are 6 vaccine candidates in clinical trial stage in India. The Secretary said some of the vaccine candidates may get licensed in the next few weeks. Preparatory activities for the rollout of the vaccine are being carried out by the central government in collaboration with states and union territories.
केंद्र सरकार ने 7 अगस्त को एक अन्य मैकेनिज्म भी गठित किया जिसको नेगवैक कहते हैं, नेशनल एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप ऑन वैक्सीन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन फॉर कोविड-19। नेगवैक का जो मैंडेट है वो है कि पॉपुलेशन ग्रुप्स को प्रायोरिटाइज करना, प्रोक्योरमेंट और इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट पर सरकार को परामर्श देना, वैक्सीन का चुनाव कैसे किया जाए, वैक्सीन डिलीवरी कैसे की जाए और जिन लोगों को वैक्सीन दी गई उनका ट्रैकिंग मैकेनिज्म क्या हो, इसके बारे में सरकार को जानकारी देना।
A visit is being organized for foreign heads of missions in India to Hyderabad today. Sources said more than 60 heads of missions are being taken to leading biotech companies in Hyderabad, Bharat Biotech and Biological E. This is the first such visit and it will be followed by visits to facilities in other cities. India has been contributing significantly to global efforts against COVID-19 pandemic. There is a lot of interest in India's vaccine development efforts. India is the world's largest vaccine manufacturer. Talking to All India Radio News, health expert Dr. Geeta Kampani, Professor Medicine Department, Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi, said that emergency use of vaccine can apply in situations like the corona pandemic.
कोविड-19 पैंडेमिक है, ये एक इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन है जिसका और कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव इलाज वैक्सीन के अलावा नहीं है। जब फेज 3 ट्रायल नियरिंग कंप्लीशन है, लेकिन पूरी तरह से खत्म नहीं हुए हैं, लेकिन उसका 1 मंथ कम से कम बीत चुका है फेज 3 ट्रायल होते हुए और कम से कम 3,000 लोगों पे आप टेस्ट कर चुके हो। मेजर सेफ्टी इश्यूज और मेजर एडवांटेजेस सब सॉर्ट आउट हो चुके हैं।
Gujarat recorded 1,325 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that the recovery rate has improved and reached 91.70%.
The number of total cases of COVID-19 detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,21,493. 1,531 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More than 83,71,000 tests have been carried out till date. Maximum 294 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 214 new cases. At present, total active cases are 14,272, out of which 78 patients are on ventilator. 15 patients died yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra has reported 4,026 new cases of coronavirus, taking its total caseload to 18,59,367. According to the state's Public Health Department, 6,365 patients were discharged yesterday. The state reported 53 fatalities, taking the death toll to 47,827. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
In Maharashtra, the number of active COVID-19 patients stands at 73,374. State's recovery rate stands at 93.42%, while the case fatality rate stands at 2.57%. Health Minister Rajesh Tope said that the health system is ready to deliver the corona vaccine across the state. While talking to reporters in Jalna, he informed that all the preparations, including cold storage and training of medical staff, have been completed. He said that the Serum Institute of India has applied for emergency approval of Made in India COVID vaccine candidate Covishield, and he has discussed about the vaccination with the CEO of Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Orissa, COVID-19 active cases have further plunged down to 3,106, with 349 new cases yesterday. The total caseload of the state has increased to 3,21,913 as against the total recovery of 3,16,970. 523 patients recovered from the infection yesterday. A report from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
With Delhi recovery surging ahead of fresh infection, the state is witnessing an incremental contraction in COVID-19. The virus has thinned out in many places across the state, with half the districts reporting fresh cases in single digit each yesterday. The highest cases that any of the 30 districts reported during the last 24 hours was 44 from Khordha, with 2 districts reporting nil. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Tamil Nadu, the active COVID-19 caseload remained at 10,588 yesterday. The new infections were recorded at 1,236, including 333 in Chennai. 1,330 patients recovered from the infection, while 13 others succumbed to it. More than 64,000 people were tested for the infection yesterday. More from our Chennai correspondent.
The COVID-19 recovery rate in Tamil Nadu has risen to 97.1%, one of the highest in the country. While the case positivity rate has dropped significantly, the doubling time of infection has soared up considerably. It has led the administration to permit 100% seat occupancy in the buses being operated by the state-run transport corporations and private players. Perambalur district clocked a nil report in new cases yesterday, and its active caseload figure remains at 3. 11 other districts now have less than 100 patients each. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
The United Kingdom became the first country in the world to start using the COVID-19 vaccine after regulators approved its use last week. Britain began rolling out the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer and BioNTech yesterday. The mass inoculation will fuel hope that the world may be turning a corner in the fight against a pandemic that has crushed economies and killed more than 1.5 million. Here is a desk report.
About 70 hospital hubs across the UK are inoculating the people over 80s and some health and care staff. The program aims to protect the most vulnerable and return life to normal. 87-year-old Dr. Hari Shukla of Indian origin, who received one of the first coronavirus vaccines, said he felt it was his duty to do whatever he can to help. Dr. Shukla, who has 9 grandchildren, said he was proud to participate in this very important activity. He said the whole world is looking at us to see how things go. A Newcastle Hospital's NHS Trust spokeswoman said a woman in her 90s had come to hospital having watched the news. The government has issued guidance on the order of priority. The vaccine is given as 2 injections, 21 days apart, with full immunity reached 7 days after the second dose. It is not yet known how long immunity lasts or whether it stops people from passing on the virus. Tanvi Khurana, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched COVID Jan Andolan on the 8th of October to appeal to the people to follow COVID-appropriate behavior to mitigate the pandemic. Mr. Modi reiterated the importance of washing hands, wearing masks properly and maintaining 2 gaz ki duri till a cure for the disease emerges. Our correspondent reports that the campaign has worked wonders and has yielded more than expected results.
Following Mr. Modi's call, people started joining the Jan Andolan. Many influencers and celebrities like personalities from the world of medical science, entertainment, sports and others came on AIR News and other platforms to voice their support. Within first week of its launch, the Jan Andolan campaign garnered 2.33 billion impressions and trended on Twitter with the hashtag #UniteToFight Corona, and the result is for everyone to see. The daily rise in number of positive cases, which was 78,524 on the day of the launch of the People's Movement, has come down drastically by 66% to 26,567 cases as of 8th December. So we must follow Prime Minister's appeal and wear masks, maintain physical distancing and wash hands to maintain hygiene at all times.
टैलेंटेड वैज्ञानिक कोरोना वैक्सीन के लिए तेजी से काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब तक कोई प्रभावी दवा या वैक्सीन नहीं बनती, तब तक मास्क, 2 गज की दूरी, हैंड सैनिटाइजेशन की हमारा एकमात्र विकल्प है, एक प्रकार से एकमात्र हथियार है। हमें खुद भी बचना है और घर में छोटी बड़ी आयु के सभी परिजनों को भी बचाना है।
The pandemic attacks people, and when people are cautious, it is unlikely to cause any harm. Let us adjust to this new normal. Naseem Naqvi, AIR News, New Delhi.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with the help of mobile technology. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.59% in the country. United Kingdom rolls out first COVID-19 vaccine in the world. Prime Minister to lay foundation stone of state-of-the-art and energy-efficient new Parliament building tomorrow. And government to start 1,000 Khelo India small centres to encourage sports culture in the country. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alert.
To get accurate, reliable and wide coverage of news, tune into AIR News 24/7 and FM Gold and listen to the major bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in English and 8 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. in Hindi of half an hour each.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of the new Parliament building at Sansad Marg tomorrow. The new building is an intrinsic part of the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It will be a landmark opportunity to build People's Parliament for the first time after independence. The new Parliament will match the needs and aspirations of New India in the 75th anniversary of independence in 2022. The new Parliament building will be modern, state-of-the-art and energy-efficient with highly non-obtrusive security facilities to be built as a triangular-shaped building adjacent to the present Parliament. Lok Sabha will be 3 times of the existing size and Rajya Sabha will be substantially bigger. The interiors of the new building will showcase a rich blend of Indian culture and diversity of our regional arts, crafts, textiles and architecture. The design plan includes space for a magnificent central constitutional gallery which will be accessible to the public. Union Minister of State for Social Justice Ramdas Athawale has said that some political parties are trying to instigate farmers and use them to gain political mileage. Addressing a press conference in Kolhapur yesterday, Mr. Athawale said the 3 farm laws passed by the NDA government are not against farmers. He said farmers have the right to express their concerns and the government is ready to address them. Stating that the Bharat Bandh call did not evoke much response except from Punjab and Haryana, the minister urged farmers not to be misled and to speak to the government about the changes they wish to propose in the farm laws.
Farmers have welcomed the implementation of new farm laws as it has resulted in raising their incomes and liberating them from the clutches of middlemen. Kamal Patel of Badhava village in Devas district of Madhya Pradesh has said that the new farm law has helped him sell his produce to private companies which gave better price.
मैं कमल पटेल, ग्राम बधावा, तहसील सतवाल, जिला देवास, मध्य प्रदेश। नए बिल आने के कारण अच्छी मदद मिली है, किसानों के लिए ये मददगार बिल है और इसके कारण दाम भी अच्छे ऊंचे मिल रहे हैं और अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही यहाँ ITC का हब खुला है।
Sandeep of Sherewala village in Abohar district of Punjab has said that he has got better price for quinoa this year as he sold it to the people of his choice.
मेरा नाम संदीप है, मैं शेरेवाड़े गांव का रहने वाला हूँ। मैंने अब की बार तीनों सीधे व्यापारी को दिया है, नया कानून लगने के बाद पहली बार, और मुझे पहले से अच्छे पैसे मिले हैं और मुझे किसी प्रकार की कोई कठिनाई नहीं हुई है और हमें तीनों के पैसे पहले से बेहतर मिले हैं।
The website for the 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas PBD 2021 was inaugurated by Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan yesterday, marking the commencement of online registration for participation in the convention. The theme of PBD 2021 is Contributing to Atmanirbhar Bharat. In view of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the convention will be held in a virtual format. The 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention 2021 will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 9th January 2021. The winners of Bharat Ko Janiye quiz will also be announced at the inaugural session. The Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan during the virtual meeting said that Pravasi Bharatiya Divas marks the day to celebrate the contribution of the overseas Indian community into the development of India.
In Chhattisgarh, paddy procurement on minimum support price is progressing. About 11 lakh metric tons of paddy has been purchased so far. More details on this from our Raipur correspondent.
Chhattisgarh is one of the major paddy producing states of the country. Paddy procurement on minimum support price has started in the state from December 1, which will continue till 31st January. So far, over 10,85,000 metric tons of paddy has been purchased on support price in the state from over 3 lakh farmers. Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel has instructed the district collectors to issue tokens on a priority basis to small and marginal farmers for selling their paddy stock. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
The 8-member interministerial central team deputed to evaluate damages caused by the cyclone Nivar in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry completed its tour yesterday. The team members, led by the Union Home Ministry Joint Secretary Ashutosh Agnihotri, earlier visited several affected places in both the states. They met the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi Palanisamy yesterday at the Secretariat at Fort St. George in Chennai before winding up their tour. Later, talking to media at Cuddalore, the Chief Minister said the state government has submitted an updated memorandum to the central team.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah on his reappointment as Prime Minister of Kuwait. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi expressed confidence that bilateral relations will continue to expand and flourish. India-Norway bilateral consultations on UNSC issues were held through video conferencing. The Norwegian delegation was led by Merete Fjell Barested, Director General, Department for Multilateral Cooperation. It included other Norwegian Foreign Ministry officials and representatives from their missions in New York and New Delhi. The Indian side was led by Prakash Gupta, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. Both sides decided to work closely and further deepen cooperation during their upcoming tenure as non-permanent members of the UNSC for the period 2021-22. They had wide-ranging discussions on issues on the UN Security Council agenda and recent developments.
Union Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju said that the government has made various policy changes and taken up initiatives to encourage and support sportspersons and sporting community even after they retire. Addressing the 10th Global Sports Summit Turf 2020 organized by FICCI, Mr. Rijiju said that we are also starting 1,000 Khelo India small centers across the country that will help retired sports persons get employment or some role in shaping the sports culture of the country. The minister noted that India has huge potential where sports is concerned, but potential alone has no meaning unless utilized and channelized in the right way. Mr. Rijiju urged the industry, business and corporate houses to come together with the government in helping create a sporting obsessive society. England's tour of South Africa has been called off following the outbreak of COVID-19 among both teams' camps and staff at their hotel. The 3 ODIs have officially been postponed with the possibility that they could be played at a later date. The decision came after the opening ODI of the series was pushed back 3 times in 4 days.
WHO has launched a year-long global campaign for World No Tobacco Day 2021, Commit to Quit. The new WHO Quit Challenge on WhatsApp and a publication titled More Than 100 Reasons to Quit Tobacco were released to mark the start of the campaign. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to millions of tobacco users saying they want to quit.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. In Srinagar, rain or snow is expected. The minimum temperature was 1 degree Celsius while the maximum will be around 6 degrees. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 12 degrees Celsius while the upper level will be around 20 degrees. The city may witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. Leh may also witness light snow today. The minimum temperature dipped to -4 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 2 degrees. In Gilgit, the sky will remain generally cloudy. The temperatures will hover between 1 and 6 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 11 and 26 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh, the minimum temperature was recorded at 13 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected to be around 26 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, the national capital is expected to witness moderate fog today. The minimum temperature was 9 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 27 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, the minimum temperature was recorded at 22 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 32 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature was 15 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. In Ahmedabad, the minimum temperature was 17 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 34 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers today lead with pictures of the 90-year-old Margaret Keenan, UK's first receiver of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. On the same subject, the Hindustan Times writes, priority groups may get shots at the same time if dose is enough. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Andhra town hit by mystery illness, traces of lead nickel in blood samples, writes the Indian Express. In a bid to lure younger audience, breakdancing new sport at 2024 Paris Olympics, writes the Times of India. With the economy moving towards the path of recovery, the Economic Times writes, consumer demands to march on, grocery, electronics and autos could see around 10% rise in demand in Q4. With work from anywhere being the new pattern, the Hindu quoting the Delhi High Court says, cannot insist on physical presence of litigants, advocates take up proceedings through video call, trial court told.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India will launch world's biggest COVID-19 vaccination drive with the help of mobile technology. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.59% in the country. United Kingdom rolls out first COVID-19 vaccine in the world. Prime Minister to lay foundation stone of state-of-the-art and energy-efficient new Parliament building tomorrow. And government to start 1,000 Khelo India small centers to encourage sports culture in the country. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.